So, hi Radha, and welcome to the East India Perspective Detour with Design. How are you today?
I'm good. What about you, Vinita? It's great to, finally meet after talking so much.
I know, right? It's actually a pleasure to be speaking with the editor finally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Likewise.
really, I would be even happier if Siddharth could also join us, but I guess that was not possible.
Yes.
Right. So anyhow, without any further delay, let's get on to the horse in the room, what our viewers are expecting us and what they want to hear from us. So the first question,
For
obviously, yeah, that comes across in our mind is that I particularly remember this because Architect's Diary started at a time even when I started my career personally. So I have been seeing Architect's Diary since then. So it's been about like I think 4 5 years already. So and since then, even the concept and the paradigm of design journalism in India has seen quite a change. So how has it been for you guys, like working at Architect's Diary? What has changed in Architect's Diary personally?
So I'll tell you the basic, idea when projects and good designs are put out is that it should be appreciated for the essence that it carries. That is the entire gist of putting out good designs there, putting out a lot of designs which actually question certain styles. So there are a lot of things which goes into when you start off and when you move across 5 years of span, a lot of things change. So how it started and how where it has reached right now, there is a lot of things that we internally also discuss, and the core team and the entire the Architects Diary team, we keep on question ourselves as architects as well. The plus point being we all are architects, right? So the team entire, the Architects Diary, is composed of architects. So there is a lot of to and fro going on, so that we could put things out for the audience and the AIDs of the country, very informative and something to look up to every single day.
We definitely
You
look into
know,
your Instagram posts. At least I do. I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of people do
and
as well.
no, and there is much more. There is not. It's just not an Instagram post. Sometimes there are so many things happening on the website, on Pinterest, on a lot of social medias where the Architects Diaries presence is very strong.
Right.
So yeah.
That's very great to hear. So the next thing that I definitely wanted to ask you, that I know you were probably not there from the beginning of the Architect Diaries journey. You came in a little bit later, I'm presuming. But do you have any idea why did they even think of naming the whole concept the Architect's Diary? Because there is the Architect. We have a magazine, an international magazine
So
called The Architect. So why the
yes,
Architect?
there is the architect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually when we start off, when an architect is introduced to the architectural world, they are taught to maintain a diary or something where they can sketch, they can write, they can put their concepts or ideas or something which is very raw and very intuitive. So the architect's diary seems naturally for somebody, and everybody wants to have, deep inside somebody's creative minds. So the Architect's Diary is a diary which is for architects as well as the people who are very much interested in knowing what goes inside a creative mind.
So
So,
something that
the
everybody
Architect's
can
Diary
relate
is
to.
pretty much very welcoming. Yes.
Right. That seems like a valid concept to begin with. Yeah, as a student of architecture, I think we all had a sketchbook, if not anything, and somehow everybody's favorite hobby was to sketch. So yeah.
It does. And even after you become, during the college years, it's very basic and very, you're learning. But
Mm.
once you become an architect, I have never met an architect who does not carry a Lamy and a sketchbook. Every designer has this, their love for sketchbooks, and hence they find unique sketchbooks or diaries to, hold on to. Yeah.
So, since this is an impromptu thing that I really want to know, so since you became a design journalist, do you still carry a sketchbook?
Yes, I do, because the architect in me is still there, So I do carry a little sketchbook across.
Right. That's fun to know because I do the same.
Yes.
So, like if we go to the fact of location, a lot of people say that there are big opportunities in bigger cities. It's a very common thing that everybody says. And if we look at all the A-lister magazines, whether it's AD or Good Homes or Home and Design Trends, like all the big players in the market, they're all based out of either Delhi or Bombay. Even digital publications, for that matter, a lot of them are based out of Delhi or even Bangalore. Some are Bangalore. So, being like a website or a digital publication that comes out of Ahmedabad, were there any consequences or challenges or struggles that you faced or maybe are still facing till date?
See, as far as challenges are concerned, I'm sure the A-listers, those media houses which are situated in Mumbai, Delhi, etc., they might be facing some or the other issues. So the challenges are always there. Depending upon the location, it is about convenience, right? Like usually there are a lot of social gatherings and a lot of things happening in and around Delhi, Mumbai. However, in Ahmedabad, it is difficult. Things are changing surely, but it never was a challenge because, again, it's a digital media publication. So, we sort of pulled off IIDA, that was, summit last year, and it was an entirely virtual event, and we had called in architects from across the world. So, COVID being a catalyst in all these things, it has surely changed things, how digitally things people perceive. So it has not been a challenge.
So, are you saying then
Yeah.
COVID did kind of prove to a benediction or a blessing to you guys also, along with other, of course, digital platforms?
So actually, what has happened is the entire corporate system, not just digital media publication, but a lot of things, have been, they have started perceiving things, how can they move digitally and they've started learning. People have started adapting to all these things, which obviously proves to be, as a catalyst, I said that it is bound to happen in the future because Web 3.0 coming and, a lot of metaverse coming in. It was bound to happen in the future. However, this is a cusp of everything. We are at the cusp of the revolution.
Right. Uh, so again, like you said, so like the COVID scenario brought about a lot of people who suddenly became interested in this, actually got the time and the scope and the energy to kind of look forward to a field that was not very discovered and was not very trodden, was the trodden path, like you can say. So considering the amount of people that who are diverting towards this field, who would you guys say, the architect's diary would say, so as the editor, like who would you say that is your biggest competitor in the market, or somebody, some publication or magazine that you look up to as that, that's the goal or that's the ultimate that you would like to reach?
So this sounds very cliched, but it is true that once you have a set goal for a company, you yourself are a competitor. It sounds very cliched, but it is actually true because we, as a core team, we keep on constantly saying that this doesn't work, or what needs to be changed, or what needs to be put out there, which is not just put out because of the likes or because of the say glam or something like that, but we keep on developing single daily, be it like the font change or any little thing that puts out an image of a company. So the competitor wise, we really feel that every company has different goals of their they have an end goal in their mind which they keep on refining, and each and everybody here is are their own competitors, I feel. And because of, see, it's a funny thing, so because of which we just introduced an app in February, which is called Blendin, and it itself suggests that we have blended the entire whatever the international. There are so many publications which give out such good information, which is very constructive. People should be able to imbibe that and learn from that. So we have made sure that all the platforms are shown in the One Design News app, which is out there for people to explore. So that is the end goal. I mean, that is the goal, that people should be stayed. They should be updated every now and then for their knowledge of design and inspiration.
Right. So then, can I say this, that like, because we believe as a team, like you said, even the East India Perspective believes that we want to create a community out of this, because at the end of the day, all of our goals are kind of similar. So are you saying that maybe even the Architect's Diary then actually works towards a similar concept? Consider, of course, healthy competition is great everywhere; it should exist. But at the end, the point is to form a community. Do you agree then that would be helpful?
That is what if there is a community which supports the entire community, when they become educated together, obviously there will be some sort of education already in between amongst the designers. However, we need to keep on refining it, and we need to keep on getting informed about what is happening. The world is changing so fast, and everything is you have to keep up with the trends, you have to keep up with what is happening. So a strong community where, say, you and I can discuss ideas and have a very meaningful conversation is what actually makes a good community, a rich community. So yeah, that is the goal.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I mean, I don't think crab mentality helps anybody. At the end of the day, all of us will end up down if we don't actually help each other build bridges and reach where Indian
Yeah.
architecture, to be specific, should reach, currently.
Yes.
So, since you have been the editor of Architect's Diary for quite some time now, so obviously this question arises, and I know, please, I know you would probably want to be diplomatic, but if this was Coffee with Karan, you couldn't be. Just kidding. So,
Yeah. No.
so as the editor, when you receive data like from architects or their offices for that matter, uh, I know this because I have also shared data in the past when I used to work in these sort of concepts to Siddharth. So there is a specific format or things that you need to share, right? What is the biggest flaw or shortcoming that you have seen, or the biggest dilapidation, let me call it, that is there or present in the data that that comes to you, like from these offices? What is the biggest shortcoming you've seen?
So usually the designers, sometimes they miss out on because I feel that a design does not get completed without the involvement of a lot of say brands. So whatever the sanitary ware or the furnishings or little those things. So in those aspects, it becomes a little bit there are 2-3 more steps needed, where the acknowledgement of course there is an acknowledgement, but when you sit down and see the design is done by an architect, however it is the entire vision comes into picture along with the entire the brands that are involved in making that true. So yeah, that is one of the things that I have seen usually with the architects and designers.
Right. So basically, point being, specifications could be mentioned a little bit better, is the point.
Yeah.
Right. So this segment is called Myth or Not. So it's pretty simple. I'm just explaining to the audience and, of course, to Radha, you as well. I'm going to be reading out one myth at a time, and you have to tell me whether, according to you, of course, whether it's a myth or is it not. If you, for any of the same, if you think it's a myth or you don't think it's a myth, we need a line or a statement from you to support your statement, of course. So are you ready, Radha, to begin myth or not?
Yes.
Okay. So the first myth is design journalism should not be included in the 5-year architecture course.
Uh, Myth. I mean, it should be included. It should be included in the course. It is very important, this subject to be included in the course, because it opens, it strengthens a lot of things inside a designer. A lot of perspective, paradigm shift. A lot of things happen once design journalism is taught and developed. It needs to be developed.
Right. Okay, so the first one, Radha thinks is a myth. Let's go with the second one. Myth number 2 is print media and architecture is way better than digital media. Myth or not?
Print media is it's a balance of both, actually. Like, digital media has opened so many doors of what you could do with media publication as a whole. So, and print media, obviously, it is very difficult when somebody has already for so many years accustomed to print media. No, it's very difficult to digest the fact that there is a digital media. It happens with the currency as well. Crypto is, it is difficult to digest that it is there. So it is all, the friction will always be there, but it is the print media is making its way, and how it is
So you do
strengthened.
say the statement in short is a myth, right? And it's not
It is
better.
a
It
myth.
might be at par or something, but it's a myth. It's not that it's better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Myth number 3. Anyone can become an architect.
It's a myth. Nobody, actually, anybody can become an architect after doing a 5-year tedious course. I mean, you have to go through the entire journey to become, to call yourself an architect, be it, degree wise, or whatever you call, but you need to complete the course, because even though there is a gap between professional architecture and, educational architecture, however, you need to go through the things to make sure that the learnings are there towards the entire journey ahead. So yeah, anyone cannot become an architect.
Like, I'm just putting a counter proposal. So people say that architecture is a creative profession. So why is a
Yes.
degree required to prove your creativity?
No, that is what I'm saying, that architecture, sometimes what happens is you need to practice, say, as a writer as well, you need to go through certain things where you are trained to think like that. The 5 years of time which goes, you are trained to become an architect. I mean, all of us, I believe that each and everybody of us are creative by nature. It's an innate thing. Rather, it is dormant in some people, and it is there, out there in somebody. But all of us are creative beings. How you design a solution to anything very quickly. Even architects need that. On-site solutions are needed like this. So all of that is there, but you are being trained to become an architect. In those 5 years, you are introduced to so many things which are basic, the alphabet of becoming an architect. So that is a needed thing. Surely you need to add design journalism in the course, but yeah.
Right. The fourth and final myth is you can't earn money as a design journalist in India.
It's a myth again. So you can, earn money. And what happens is that while you start design journalism, while you are at, it starts from having a flair of writing. I have seen a lot of young writers, asking that very young money. They are like in the second semester or third semester of architecture, and they are very much inclined towards writing about something. So be it architecture, or they don't know yet what to write about, but they have a flair of writing. So to mold that entire thing into design journalism, and what are the steps that are required, how can you monetize the skill that you have, be it journalism or any other thing, that is needed. That the guidance and the sort of information that has to be imparted for them to open their minds onto how to monetize the entire thing, that is for sure needed. But it can be, design journalism can be, because a lot of avenues are opening up, and it is started being taken seriously as a profession as well. It can be an earning source.
So we can very clearly say Architect's Diary is doing a very good business, guys. So if anybody is a writer here listening and wants to join, so they are doing a very good job at even paying their employees. So please join them. They do believe design journalists can make money. So yes, Architect's Diary is the place to apply, guys. I'm going to be putting in my CV next. I'm definitely.
Oh, sure. I welcome you with open arms,
So, beginning our third segment with Radha from Architect's Diary, who's the editor-in-chief, and this beaming lady. Let's start the third segment with her, which is lightning round, rapid fire round. The only sad thing about this is you will not get a hamper at the end. I'm sorry. So that's not available.
Yeah.
But yes, this is there. So let's begin. The first one, article journalism or photojournalism, which excites you the most?
Personally, article journalism.
Okay. Residential projects or commercial projects, which one is more fun to write about?
Residential projects.
Okay. India Today Home or Home and Design Trends, your favorite magazine?
The Architect's Diary.
I said magazine, you cannot do that. I didn't say digital platform. That's plain diplomacy, bro. That's not happening. Okay. Fourth question. Worldarchitecture.org or Art Daily, the better online platform?
Art Daily.
Okay. Final question. Reading books or reading online? Which one do you prefer?
I know it will be stretched, but it depends upon what you want to read. So if news, I any day
10 seconds are over.
Online, and otherwise online.
Online. Okay. Great. So thank you so much, Radha. We had so much fun talking to you. This was great. Thank you so much for again agreeing to be a part of Detour with Design. This is, and helping us building the community we spoke about. We hope we can get in touch again. And yeah, thank you so much for coming. Hope you had fun.
Thank you so much, Benita. Yes, I had. Thank you so much for having me. And let us get together and make a super rich cultural community of architecture in India. There's so much to, there's so much, the community is so welcoming and they are so open to change. They are flexible, moldable. It is a great time to, bring in so many good ideas and experiment along. Yeah.